Bonjour, hola, everyone. Today I would like to introduce you all to a game called Werewolf, or in the original, Les Loups-Garous, which is a French fantasy card game invented by Pierre Serieux originally, but it is also adaptable to other target languages. Because like the main mechanics of the game provide a really great environment to have lots of creative and unique conversations, because you have to explain why someone is suspicious or have explain why you were innocent, and other things like that. So then it's also great for practicing the past tense in particular, because you have to talk about past actions. And if as you can either improv all of these, or if you're a little less comfortable with the language, I suggest taking a little time before the game starts to come up with like possible alibis you may ever want to use. They can be anything, and can be quite simple. And also like see how you could accuse somebody or think of how you could accuse somebody. And it includes some fantasy vocabulary, as we will see in a lot of the roles. And there will be vocabulary sheets provided both in French and Spanish. Um, so the game master, or le meneur de jeu in French, is a person in charge of controlling the mechanics of the game. And in the beginning, passes out cards to each player, and that card will determine what role you have in the game. There are two main groups, Les Loups-Garous, which can have 1 to 4 players. If it's a smaller class, then only 1, and if it's a larger class, then 4. And they must eliminate all of the villagers to win. And then Les Villageois, or the villagers, must eliminate all of the werewolves as soon as possible to win. And then the game will alternate between day and night, starting at the first part as night, where everyone sleeps, where they close their eyes and stay silent. Le Meneur tells all of the werewolves to wake up, and they silently point at one villager every night to choose leur victime, or their victim. And then other special villagers, after they are told to go to sleep, can wake up and perform anything that they have. And then the day comes back and everyone wakes up. The meneur reveals the identity of the victim or anybody else who died throughout the night, given special powers. And now it is time to make accusations. Try and convince people you're suspicious of. And you can also, this is when you'd need to say alibis, or, je suis innocent. And if people, then everyone chooses who to vote off, who is the supposed werewolf, and they will be executed from the game. The two main cards are this one, which is the cards for the werewolves, and this one, which is the card for the villagers. But there are villagers with special abilities, who have unique cards themselves. The first one is Le Chasseur, who doesn't wake up at night, but at the time of their death, they will be signified that night and choose a person to die instantly as well, basically in revenge. La Petite Fille can wake up with the werewolves, so she doesn't need a special cue, or he technically, but must not be noticed by the werewolves. Her goal is to see the identity of the werewolves, but if she is spotted by the werewolves, then she dies instantly as well, or as the victim of the night. Next is La Voyante, or the seer. where each night after the werewolves wake up, or after the werewolves go back to sleep, she wakes up and chooses someone to see their card, and she can use that evidence either to be like, oh, they're not a werewolf, so they're innocent, and I will defend them, or try and accuse people if they discover that they are a werewolf, without hopefully revealing their identity unless they really need to, like of the seer. And then la sorcière, or witch or sorcerer, wakes up at night after everyone else and has the choice to use two potions that she can use once each, as the sorceress. So after she's used one, she cannot use it another night. And these are one of life and one of death. The one of life can save that night's victim, that was the werewolf's victim, or choose to kill one person that she is suspicious of. And those are all the special roles. Bon chance, it's a very fun game. I'm sure there are people in your class who have played Among Us or even Mafia, and it's a good chance to have conversations.